Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda, and this week I'm here to talk about episodes 5 to 10 of Hanyo No Yashahime, which is a sequel to Inuyasha. I've made a couple of videos about this before, including my reaction to episode 1 and also my recap/review of episodes 1 to 4. So if you want to check that out, I'll be putting a link to that down in the description below, as well as the other videos that I've done for just this entire thing ever since the announcement happened. So all of that down there, check it out. I mentioned this before that I don't really want to make videos for this particular anime every single time there's an episode that pops up, because I feel like, if there's really nothing much to say about the episode, then there wouldn't be much value to make a video and just talk about it. So I figured that I'm gonna select a clump of episodes, and I feel like if there are enough relevant information to work around, and that's when I'm only going to make a video. However, as we entered episode 5 to 10, there's really not much to say about it anymore, considering the Monster of the Week format that the anime is sort of like following. Now, I'll be discussing more of my thoughts on that later on into the video, but first let's just start with the facts that were established in between that particular range. So the Rainbow Pearls, obviously, I didn't know why I've never really thought about this before, considering the name of the pearls, but initially I thought that there were only 3, but that it was revealed that there's actually 7, which makes sense because it's rainbow pearls. But it's been confirmed that there are 7, and its main purpose basically is strengthens the demon energy of whoever it is that's carrying it. Now it's kind of confusing as to why Setsuna and Towa's are sort of embedded in them, whereas Moroha's is somewhat external, something that she's carrying around, because so far from what I've noticed, a lot of the other characters, whenever they acquire the rainbow pearls, it sort of gets embedded into them, very similar to how the Shikon Jewel works. So it might have something to do with Moroha and the fact that she's only 1/4 demon, 1/8, I don't know math, but maybe it's because demon blood is a lot lesser as compared to the ones that they've been encountering so far. I mean, the thing is, given the time frame, it's kind of interesting how while everybody is seeking out the Shikon Jewel back in the original series, if the existence of the Rainbow Pearls is already out there, so why aren't other demons just going after it as compared to the Shikon Jewel? Is it because is the Shikon Jewel also somewhat a variant of the Rainbow Pearl? So they've been giving sort of hints here and there as to the relationship or parallelisms of those two things, but we haven't really gotten an answer about that. Are the Rainbow Pearls sort of an after result of whatever it is that happened after the Shikon Jewel was destroyed? So there's just a lot of very vague things so far again, and I feel like obviously this is a sequel, so obviously this is a sequel, so obviously they have to create this entire thing, blah blah blah. But maybe it's just me, or maybe it's because I'm such a huge fan of the first series, and that's why, given that the foundation of this entire thing is laid out on the fact that some things have happened prior to it, so I couldn't help but really ask for these types of connections, because I feel like it's just putting out these types of information out there and then trying to introduce it bit by bit, but at the same time, it never really answers anything, but rather just leaves more room for questions. And we're already 10 episodes in, and every time it feels like we're closer to something, it just reverts back to the format of Monster of the Week. That's one major issue I've been having with the series so far. Interesting is that in episode 8, we sort of got a glimpse of what was happening. For example, there's this idea of Kirinmaru and Sesshomaru sort of coming after Kagome and Inuyasha, and then that sort of resulted with the fact that Kagome and Inuyasha sent away Moroha. But other than that, there was really nothing there at all. So episode 9 and episode 10, it brought us back to the Monster of the Week format, and then I couldn't see anything else like as to where it's going to progress after that. So another thing that I'm having an issue with, in the first series, we have recurring villains happening. So even if there's this big bad, which is in the form of Naraku, there are like minor characters here and there that we sort of like get introduced into the story that recurs every episode or so, that sort of like gives it a bigger theme or a cohesive theme of some sort. Whereas for this one, even if we've been hearing about Kirin Maru for how many episodes now, and we've been hearing about the four perils that for some reason gets beaten quite easily by the girls, there isn't really anyone that's memorable yet that has been popping up into the narrative. Have Riku, which I for some reason ship with Towa so much, but I feel like, you know, it's really one of those things where Riku, he has this like thing where he aims to collect the rainbow pearls to destroy the four perils, but at the same time, like, there's really nothing much there yet, and even his character isn't as strong enough as other minions that Naraku had back in the original series. Now again, overall, I feel like it's just because of the fact that I'm pretty much invested with like the original series. I'm such a huge fan of that, and then given the sequel, so the format is really something different, which I appreciate. Every single week you can miss out on a couple of details here and there, or miss out at an episode or two, and you're not really missing out much on the plot. It reminds me so much of the seasons in between seasons 4 or 5 up to the final act, where the middle is just a mess of things and there's really nothing much happening there, instead of just like repetitive stuff, and it didn't really add much value to the entire narrative. And this is what it feels like. It feels like every single episode is a filler episode of some sort, and we're not really getting anywhere with the entire thing. And I don't know, like, I feel like that's just so frustrating for me, because again, this is a series that I've anticipated given my past relationship with the original series, and so far it seems like it's getting nowhere. Like, we're getting bits and pieces here and there, which I get is sort of like ideal if they want this to be a little bit independent as well. Like, it's not always mentioning or referencing the old material or the old series. It's just that you kind of ask for that if you create a series that is related to like the children of the main characters of the original series. It's pretty much like how Naruto and Boruto is like there's definitely like this whole new thing of the new generation, but at the same time you still get glimpses of how like the old series was like. So I don't know, like, to me so far with 10 episodes in, definitely kind of frustrating as to where it's heading. I really hope that, I don't know how many episodes they have planned for this. I haven't really researched much on it, but I feel like I hope it improves, because so far we're not really getting anywhere. So yeah, so I don't know, tell me down in the comments below what you think of it. Are you still liking where the story is at, or anything like that? Give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon, hopefully when I have more positive things to say about the series. So